Joining me now is Marcus Saxton, the chairman of the Independent British Vape Trade Association. Marcus, good morning. You were listening to that. Tell me, though, first and foremost, what exactly is an illicit or illegal vape? What makes something illicit or illegal?
Good morning. Good to join you. So in principle, this means that it has not been notified to the MHRA, which is the regulator within this particular space. That's a notification scheme that ensures that the manufacturer and ultimately the supplier of that product in the UK has gone through the necessary checks to ensure that that product meets the standards for the UK. So an illicit product will be one that hasn't gone through that process, is likely to have avoided VAT, has come into the country illegally, and then unfortunately shops decide that they should sell this product on to the consumer.
Okay, I've got you. And so why are people buying them? When legal ones are readily available, and I mean everywhere, why do people choose illegal ones?
So in principle, this is probably about better value. So for a consumer, in some cases, to be fair, apart from your commentator, the young adult that had gone in and been able to purchase one in what would be deemed as a highly red flag illegal fashion, many consumers may go into what they think are legitimate shops, purchase a product that effectively is either at a lower price or contains more liquid and effectively then is more convenient and is cheaper for them to purchase. So from their perspective, they may see themselves getting good value. The challenge being is, as we've just said, it hasn't gone through those necessary checks. And could be surrounded in all sorts of illegal crime linked to this that's going on as well. So for their own health and safety, it's important that they buy from reputable shops. But also, if it looks too good value to be true, it probably is and should be a red flag.
Our freedom of information requests have also found that trading standards across the country have records of vapes being sold to children. Shopkeepers taking a bit of a battering here, aren't they? Because at the end of the day, they're looking to shift their stock. We're looking at areas of West London where there's been plenty of vapes that have been seized. How do we safeguard children? What measures need to be put in place to stop this from happening, where kids are being sold illicit vapes?
So you're absolutely right. I mean, the good news is this is helping many millions of adult smokers. So this needs to be put in the right context. But any sale to a minor is an illegal one today. What actually went through the House of Lords yesterday that your listeners may not be aware of is the second reading of something called the Tobacco and Vapes Bill. And what that is looking to do is ensure that there's proportionate regulation that comes into effect beyond what there is already. Because just to reiterate, it is illegal, and any retailers that are firstly stocking these products, let alone selling legitimate vaping products to minors, is illegal today. So what this new regulation that's passing through the House of Lords at the moment and ultimately will come into law will hopefully put in some further steps that could be things like a vaping products duty that is separate to the bill, that will put extra excise tax on these products, that will clearly identify for consumers and also for the enforcement agents what hasn't come through the correct channels, and potentially licensing schemes is something within the bill that would ensure that retailers have to pass and ultimately be granted a license to sell tobacco and vaping products, that those two things in conjunction could come together and be a pretty effective way to actually ensure that retailers, certainly if they flout these regulations, have severe penalties that come against them.
What about this vape ban that we heard of single-use disposable vapes? Will that change things?
On one level, so the single-use ban is predominantly about environmental grounds. So it's lots of these products, unfortunately, are ending up in landfill. So a responsible professional shop will undertake a take-back scheme. If a consumer goes into a shop and asks, can I bring my vape back for you to recycle responsibly? And there isn't one of those in place, that should be a red flag. The ban itself, though, could ultimately, we think it's a bit of a binary. Often bans don't work, and at worst could cause a significant boom beyond the already material nature of these illegal products. So it's really important that the trading standards work, of which they are massively under-resourced, and albeit there is good work going on, there is an additional £10 million being granted to them across the next 2 years that is welcomed, so that hopefully they can carry out further good work to ensure that these products aren't getting into the hands of consumers or youths.
Absolutely. finally, what change in general needs to happen to crack down on the sale of illegal vapes, and how do we make sure that they're sort of being used by the people that they're intended for?
So for consumers, again, just to reiterate, if it looks too good value, either it's got lots of liquid in there beyond what they ordinarily see, that should be a flag. If they go in and the retailer isn't offering a take-back scheme, this should sort of suggest to them this may not be a really professional outfit. And then ultimately, it's about trading standards, ensuring that they're doing the great work that they are, but having the resources to go and effectively police it, to ensure that the full weight of the law goes behind retailers that are selling to either used or illegal products.
Fantastic stuff. Really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for joining us.